Yeah.
we would have locked your ass up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Why?
Because you are two slaves.
Yeah.
And the state is your master. That's the third party.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right. Yeah, to back you up, I got to read this before we go on. To back you up. Now, again, this is from the site Common Law Marriage, New York. It says, does New York recognize common law marriage? New York law does not allow, does not allow common law marriage regardless of how long a couple has been cohabiting, which is in total violation against the Bible. In New York, common law marriage was eliminated by the state law in 1938, just like you heard Elder Tar told you.
Another thing, man. Now, let's say you do what the state says. You know, you obey the laws that be and all that. You were Israelite. You found out you were Israelite. You found out that you can have more than one wife. Let me see your ass show your marriage certificate for wife number one and talking about you want to go down and walk down the aisle again. They'll lock your ass up, man.
They call it bigamy. Yeah, they call it bigamy. Reading on, it says.
Yeah, where's that base at? Is that in the Bible?
Well, I guess.
So Nate, if you following Nate, you can't have but one woman, man.
Yeah.
But he'll tell you keep the law, and the law say you can have more than one woman, man.
Well, I guess Jacob. Well, I guess our forefather Jacob was a criminal.
Put him under the prison, man.
Yeah, Jacob. Yeah.
They locked up David and Solomon, and they the king. They said, "Look, David. They said, look, David. We know you're the king, but you got to go to jail. You're a bigamist." And Solomon, they threw the bullet, put him under the prison. So we know you're the king, Solomon, but you got to go in prison. You're a bigamist. Okay, and then on top of it, they just got on. Nate would have arrested Solomon for dealing with the women of the other nations. And Solomon had Edomite women, he had Moabite women, so Nate would have arrested him and put him in the dungeon for that. You guys, man, like Elder Tahar said, they're teaching you to go into the ways of Egypt, man. That whole thing is not in the Bible. The whole thing about bigamy, that's not in the scriptures, man. And then that's wicked as all damn hell, man. That's wicked as all damn hell. And then there's a scripture.
No, but hold up, you wasn't here. He went in. His topic. If you go to this video, right? His topic was when you meet a woman, you got to know that she's the right woman.
Oh boy.
You know. And he said for about the first month, she's an actor. She's around you. She's nice. She's around the parents. But wait a minute. The bitch could act for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
The bitch could be acting for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, flip on your ass, man. You should know, Nate, because your wife flipped on you.
Yeah, this guy's giving marriage. Nate,
and we weren't even thinking of Nate. Nate, you just came up, and that topic came up, man. All right?
You're the last guy that should be teaching. Hey, Nate, you shouldn't be giving marriage lessons. Marriage counsel. You're the last guy on the planet that should be giving marriage counsel lessons on marriage.
My wife is looking, dreaming about stringing your ass up alive, man.
And she still wants to. And you admitted that to me. Okay, when I saw you, you said, yeah, that was true. All that was true about me and my wife. But you got to understand what was happening. I was working.
No, tell her what was happening.
Oh,
what was happening? He was working too much.
He was working too much.
What kind of woman want to? Hey, now if you get with a white wowoman, she go ahead and work. I'm gonna work too. Yeah. White women work 2 jobs and you work 2 jobs. You got 4 incomes coming up in there, man.
That's
right. He was using a movie. That Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, with the woman that wanted to leave, and he showed the actual clip from it. Now check this out. He was doing bad trying to sell them devices, the medical devices, and she was working 2 shifts.
Yeah, she was
working. So she was getting tired of it, man.
Because he wasn't working. Because he wasn't making no money.
But wait a minute, she ain't supposed to flip. Like I said, Nate. You were working too. You were working, doing a lot of overtime, and your woman flipped, man. What kind of woman is that?
Yeah, and that woman hung in the movie. That chick in the movie hung in as long as she could with the guy.
I must be allowed to read this.
Okay, after you read, I got one too.
This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 25, verse 22. It says, "A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach." You know?
That's why the woman flipped, man. Because here she is working 2 shifts. He said, I'm tired of working these 2 shifts.
Yeah, the dude wasn't bringing in nothing, man.
Oh, then he was talking about becoming an intern. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna become. You know what an intern is? You work at a place all day and you don't get paid for it.
Yeah, you don't get. You're a slave. Basically, you're a slave.
He did that, which in the movie he did it, but it was a gamble. Yep. It was still a goddamn gamble. His woman didn't want to hear that. They needed money right there.
They want a sure thing. The woman want a sure thing.
They want a sure thing.
Not into gambling.
It wasn't like she had a good job, making all kind, like she was a nurse or a doctor making some real good money, and she said, "Okay, baby, well, I'll tell you what, you do that because we bringing in enough money to hold us down for those 6 months that you're gonna intern. Because because once you get the internship, then he'll start making good money. The nigga had to end up being homeless, but it was a gamble. The Spirit had mercy on him. Yeah. So what is? But Nate is just bugged out, man.
I got a script. Yeah, because all this married talk, man, in reality, it's all bullshit. This is what Paul said. He said, 1 Corinthians 7:28 and 29. It says, "But and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh." So Nate talking about you.
No, you got to know. But he said you got to find. You got to. Oh, he went to the Apocrypha. Trust a friend. You know. That's talking about a friend, a man, another man, a brother, man.
Friend
ain't talking about no woman, man. Ain't talking about no woman. And now how you gonna find the first woman and you gonna deal with that woman for 6 months to see if she's all right?
Yeah.
Nope, I did an assessment and we're not gonna make it. Well, guess what, nigga? You ain't never gonna have a woman, man.
That's right.
Because Paul didn't say, but I warn you, you should have trouble in the flesh if you find the wrong woman.
Right.
He said, any woman, you're going to have trouble in the flesh. All right?
Nate, a woman cannot be a friend, all right? The word friend means brother. Learn your goddamn words, all right? The Italian word for friend is...
Well, hey, a friend won't step out on another friend.
Yeah.
That's why he don't go, hey, brother, whatever I do is whatever I do is my damn business. My woman don't got to know a goddamn thing, man.
Yeah, a friend... the word friend means brother. The Latin, I believe, is friar. And then the Italian is fratello, which means brother. All right? So a woman cannot be your friend, all right? So learn your words. Anyway, going back to what Paul said, 1 Corinthians 7:28 says, But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned, and if a virgin marry, she have not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh. So that nullifies what you're saying, Nate. But I spare you. But this I say, brethren, this is the mentality you brothers should have. The time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. So even if you get a woman, it'll be like you don't have a woman because the time is so short. Your mind is really supposed to be into this work. 100%. Remember what Yahushua said. If you're lukewarm, he will spit you out of his mouth.
If your eye be single.
If your eye be single, Yahushua also said that. Single means what? You're concentrating on one thing. What is that one thing? This word. Pushing out this word. All right? And then if you have a woman, and those of you brothers that have a woman, you know, they'll be jealous after a while. They'll start looking at you. All you do is into that Bible. All you care about is that Bible. How many of you brothers have heard that conversation, man?
Why Yahushua said that he's a jealous power, man. The Most High, if you really a man of the Lord, if you one of the elect, and you got a woman and you all into that, and we can speak this from experience, and you meet a so-called woman